What's up, everybody? Another day, another FPL stream. Bit late, as someone's pointed out in the stream, but I wasn't supposed to be streaming tonight, so I think it's perfectly fair. Kids already in bed, the missus in bed ill, so I don't have anything better to do in my life really than sit here and talk fantasy football to you lot. So I thought I'd come and stream. It's only 1 week now until FPL launches. This time next week, we'll basically all be moaning that we were all going to get those Arsenal players, and we never did. And Lacazette will probably score a hat-trick. We'll all have Aguero, Jesus, Kane or Lukaku. And I reckon that's probably the way it's going to roll. But we'll see. Yeah, it's 4 at the back. I was just messing around earlier. Kane will be back, don't worry. I think so. Kind of tempted by Jesus or Aguero. But yeah, I think I've got to go Kane. Just got to figure out how. Pogba's actually caused me a few problems because I really want to keep him, but I don't know. Salah is maybe a better option, even if he's a million more. You've got 7 of the same players. Spiky hair's it. My hair's like, I don't know. Same as usual. It's just a bit long at the moment. We'll be getting it cut soon. We're all good. How are we all today? Mrs. Enjoyed the stream yesterday. She was very surprised you were all nice. She said they're all very nice people. As if you weren't going to be nice. We'll get onto the questions in a sec. To be honest, and I keep putting my it'd be so much better when the season started and that is my team and I can't get rid of it. But don't ask me too many questions on this team right now because probably gonna switch it around like in a minute. 3 at the back. I don't know. I'm kind of getting. I think I listened to the Who Got the Assist podcast earlier. And now they got me interested in Kolasinac. I think I've kind of got the pronunciation right now. I don't know, just attacking wing back for Arsenal. Could he be this year's Alonso? I don't know. Quite tempted now. You like the Jesus over Kane pick? I don't think that's going to last, to be honest. I don't know. I've just read a few things. I know it looks like it. I know it's going to sound completely knee-jerk, and it is a bit. It's not just that Aguero scored today. I'm just now thinking... Last year I kind of got off Aguero early doors because he was so expensive. Now Kane's that price. I'm just thinking, is he... Aguero for 11.5 million, can I turn that down? Still scored 20 goals last year. I suppose the question is, if you could guarantee that Aguero was going to start, would you get him in? You probably would. So then the question is, will he start? And then maybe he will. So I'm kind of mulling that over right now. I think the other thing that's going through my head right now as well is kind of pre-season form is starting to come into my head a bit more now. I didn't really want to pay too much attention to it, but like I can't get Salah out of my head. The Lallana injury is a bit annoying, but I don't think it's going to affect them too much. But like Man City, I think De Bruyne and Jesus and Aguero could all be great options. It's just picking the right one and not being too annoyed when you get it wrong. Because they're going to score goals. But are they going to share too many points? I don't know. We pay our money, we take our chances. Exactly. It's just... I don't want to worry too much about it because every season I have a bad start. So this season is going to be no different. So maybe I just get the players in that I really want, like Pogba. Maybe I go triple Man United, for example. And when it all goes tits up, I'll just wildcard in game week 4 or 6 or whenever it's needed. And I probably will wildcard earlier. I've said it many times before. I've never got past game week 6 with my wildcard intact. So it seems very unlikely that will happen this year. Do I consider Salah a risk now because of the Europa League? Champions League, right? Not Europa. You think he's a massive risk because Hoffenheim's not a bad team? Yeah, so from what I've read, that's probably one of the worst teams they could have got. But I'd love to see some research about how much teams rotate this early in the season. Do you know what I mean? It's not like they're tired. They haven't played most of the summer. They've played a few pre-season games. I actually tweeted earlier, I wonder if having European games is actually a good thing. Because it gives them more... They kind of get to match fitness or whatever quicker. However you want to say it. Match speed, match fitness, whatever. They get to it a bit quicker because they play the extra games. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, there is a chance to get rotated, but... How many games is Salah missing at the start of the season because of a couple of Champions League games? Do you know what I mean? They've got to do well in the league as well. I mean, the competition's really tough this year in the league. Everyone has improved, apart from Spurs. Or you know what I mean, everyone's been in the transfer market to improve their squad. Surely Spurs are going to move soon. Do we not think? How's it going, TFF? Yeah, we'll see if we can get you on in the future. Just it wasn't not a good night for it, to be honest. Shouldn't have put that tweet out. Am I definitely not going with Kane? No, I mean, I've been not set on my team. I've been kind of happy with it, but I think the next week is going to be a real pain in the ass because you get closer to game week 1 and suddenly everything seems wrong. Things just seem less right as you get closer to game week 1. You start second guessing everything. I've got the only person I won't second guess is Lukaku. There's no way he's going anywhere unless he gets injured. Everyone else is still kind of. I mean, J-Rod has been in my team for most of the last major lot of drafts. But he's cheap, and I kind of like West Brom's fixtures. I'm kind of targeting their fixtures. So we'll see. Kane starts slow. Like, he's never scored in August, but August isn't that long. Do you know what I mean? He's had a full pre-season. I don't know. I'm not buying into this Kane never starts well. It doesn't really mean anything. Just he didn't start well in previous seasons doesn't mean he won't start well this season. Example, Lukaku towards the end of the season last year, he wasn't. I didn't think he was a good pick. I got rid of him. I mean, there was better options. He was doing well, but there was better options. And there was all these tweets where he always scores against West Ham. I think it was always scores against West Ham, and he had Watford to play, and he didn't score against West Ham. I thought it was really funny because the other day I saw the same tweet. Now I think it was like it was 8 in 8 or 11 in 8 or 9 games, something like that. I don't know. It was a really good record. He didn't score in the last one of the season, and now people are still putting those tweets out. Apart from now, it's an extra game without a goal, so it means nothing. Okay, let's change my team because otherwise I'll just have to answer questions about why I've not got Kane. Oh yeah, so I can change it on the other screen so it doesn't mess up. By the way, how does the setup look now? Because before I kind of had the whole website showing, whereas now I just have the team, so it should be more visible. And to be honest, you don't really need to see the rest of the site. I mean, I can tell you what rank and stuff I am during the season. Maybe I can go back to it later on. Anyway, why are you doing that? I'm going to change my team up. Let's get Harry Kane back in there before people go nuts. Have I tried a team with 3 big strikers? No, not really. Well, I have, sorry, I don't like it. Oh wow, yeah. De Bruyne, Salah and Pogba is not happening. One of them has to go. De Bruyne is probably the best one to get rid of. Well, price-wise. Anyway, I'll just quickly do something. Oh, wow. Bear with me just a sec. Let's just say I get rid of company. For a 4.5 million defender, who I've not even looked into the 4.5 million. So I've basically just had placeholders this whole time. Don't even know who the best option is. Okay, here we go. Fuck's sake, where am I? 7 million midfielders. I mean, do we like Fabregas or do we like Willian? Do we like neither? Right, I think my team will probably be more like this. Hang on. Sorry. Actually, I quite like that. No Man City though. That's gonna just end in tears. Let me just refresh this. There we go. What do we think of that? Do you think that's better? Why not Aguero for Lukaku? Just, Lukaku is going nowhere. The layout is much better. Awesome. So yeah, I think I'm going to continue with stuff like this, or a layout like this. Like I say, you don't need to see the rest, to be honest. The webcam's bigger, so you get to see my beautiful face even more. Can you explain this Fraser, love? He's cheap, but you're worried about rotation. So, I think there is a chance of rotation, but not while Stanislas is out. That's the kind of idea that I get. Someone in the chat will correct me if I'm wrong. So I think like he only played 19 games, or I think it's either 19 games or the equivalent of 19 games when he added up his minutes. And he scored like 100 points. That's a pretty good return. Because you double that, you're getting close to 200. So he's got great points per match now, or points per game. That doesn't mean that's going to continue, of course. It would probably go down if he played the whole season. But yeah, if he starts, he looks good value for 5.5. I don't think he's going to be another Mahrez, but I think there's probably worse options you could go for at that price. Especially if Nagel's a bigger hitter. I mean, like, I could get rid of Fabregas to Fraser, and that let me get an 8.5 million midfielder instead of Zaha, but no one really around that price would want. I'd have to downgrade a defender. In fact, I could do this. Hang on, let me just show you what is possible. I'm also not sure about Daniels all of a sudden. I feel like I've not given the £5 million defenders enough thought. Ah shit, that doesn't work out. Ah, never mind. We'll leave that for now. Anyway, what questions am I missing here? Trippier is a good shout. Yeah, I think Trippier is almost like, I feel like he's almost must have at that price. I think again the Who Got the Assist guys are saying like a lot of us missed out on Walker last year at 5.5 million, and Trippier just seems well, he's nailed on, isn't he? Who's taking his place right now? Is anyone else having a problem voting? I don't know. Let's see how many votes have been cast. As always, there is polls top right hand corner. If you want to go ahead and vote, we'll take a look at them later. Daniels rotates very well with Sutner, so he should be covered for game week 3 and 4 when his fixtures are tough and nice. I've not even checked that. I know I'm awful. I just read about Sutner and I want him. Any defenders potentially on free kicks and whatnot. I tell you, if Everton are going to play 3 at the back as well, Baines looks good, but not till like game week 6 or whatever. Yes, there's already been 20 odd votes, so I think it's probably a issue with your iPad, Si. You're starting to lean towards 4-3-3 rather than 3-4-3. Someone like Alonso, who's essentially a mid. Yeah, this comes back to the so someone said to me earlier, why would you get Rodriguez for 6 million when you can just get a defender who's outscoring for 6 million? And that might happen. Like, I won't argue against that. There's really good 6 million defenders. You know, will Company match Rodriguez? He probably might if or he probably could if he was fit. But the problem is, you're essentially swapping Rodriguez and a 4.5 million defender for Company and a 4.5 million striker. That 4.5 million striker is worthless, whereas the 4.5 million defender isn't. So it's not just a case of looking. You can't just look at 6 versus 6 in different positions. It's not as easy as that. Isn't Willian better attacking value? See, that could have even been a poll, to be honest. Fabregas is so good, always gets points when he plays. I don't know, I had Willian earlier, so I might go back to him. You'd rather have, yeah, get rid of Kolasinac instead of Company. Maybe, I don't know, I think I like Company because he's got goal threat. I don't know, I just so drawn to Kolasinac after Alonso last year. Polls were acting up too. To be honest, I don't know, there's not really a lot I can do about the polls. I just basically set them and that's it, so maybe YouTube's having an issue. Next Scoutcast is Tuesday. I confirmed that with Mark today, or yesterday. So it'll be Scoutcast Tuesday, Showdown Wednesday, stream on Thursday. Yeah, no, I agree. Company's goal threat from corners is really good. Tammy Abraham, maybe, but like he's what, 5.5? He's not. That's the thing. You're swapping Company and Rodriguez, but then you're replacing the 4.5 million with defender with a 5.5 million striker. So you got to find $1 million. So again, it's not just a straight swap. Mooney at Huddersfield. Yeah, I saw some good tweets about him earlier. Scored again today. By the way, does everyone like my new my new Twitter name? FPL HDMI cable. I think it's nice and catchy. How much is it worth sacrificing to get Sanchez for game week 1? I'm not going for Sanchez. I think he's too much money. I could live to regret that, but I'm probably going to go Kane instead of him. I don't think... It's not that you can't go Kane, Sanchez and Lukaku, but you start to miss out on players and you have to go for 4 million defenders, and I just don't think I want to do that. FPL Scarlet, that'd be old school. FPL auxiliary cable. Maybe should have gone with that. Yeah, there's a HDMI cable on the table when I was writing the name, so that's basically why I went with that. Fabregas over Willian is a tricky call. Yeah, I don't know. Problem is, Fabregas might sit back, might have to. Obviously, you got Kante there, but like, and he'll be everywhere. I don't know. Do not take Man City wing backs. You never know who will start. Yeah, I'm a bit wary of them. Obviously, I think Mendy's injured right now, but that's not going to. It's not going to be forever, of course. Watch Charity Shield. Sanchez has had no. Yeah. Now, what happens if Sanchez scores a brace in the Charity Shield? You know what I mean? Let's say he has a really good game and scores brace. He doesn't get lucky. That will, you know, set the cat amongst the pigeons for sure. In fact, what time is the game? I completely forgot about that. I think I'm going out on Sunday. 2 o'clock. That's not cool. Stones has got goals in pre-season. Yeah, 5.5. I just worry that they don't play 3 at the back. Will he definitely play? Or will Otamendi and company play? I'm not sure about that one. 5.5 million could be good though. Sanchez won't play in the Charity Shield. He's only back. I won't be so sure about that. Is Rodriguez not reverse out of position? Sort of, yeah. I mean, he's probably going to line up on the left with like a front 3. But that doesn't mean he's bad value necessarily. But yeah, it's not ideal. You'd probably rather have him as the main striker. Although, what position did he play when he scored all those goals before? If Hazard was fit, do you think he'd be in the team? Oh, I don't even want to have to think about Hazard, to be honest. There's already so many players I don't have. Am I concerned about no United at the back? I mean, maybe from like an ownership perspective, because they will get clean sheets. But I kind of made a tweet about this earlier. I just think anyone outside of Valencia or Bailly is a risk. I mean, Darmian, if we're going to play 3 at the back, Darmian might be a good starter. But let's say we go back to 4 at the back, then Valencia and Bailly are probably the only sure starters. If we disregard De Gea, Valencia's 6.5. I think not only is there players at 6.5, I'd rather have. I think maybe even Azpilicueta. To be honest, there's defenders I like that are cheaper. And then Bailly is 6 million. Also with Valencia, I was quite surprised. The FPL account tweeted out a scout article about Valencia earlier. I was quite surprised about his attacking stats, to be honest. I think he was like 3rd for like crosses or chances created or something. But when I watch him, I don't feel like he creates enough. He stops the ball every time he gets forward and passes inside. This is a bit frustrating. So 6.5 I think is too much. Then Bailly 6 million. Is he going to do well on bonus points? Maybe. He doesn't have much goal threat. I feel like you're almost paying 6 million just to cover Man United clean sheets, and I don't know if it's worth. I don't know if it's value for money, to be honest. Once you get into like Jones and that, I know see like TFF is saying, you know, Jones started 18 of 19, but last season when he was fit. But so one that shows, I said this earlier, one that shows that he's not fit that often. If he starts, yes, he could be good, but I just think, what is he, 5.5 million? It's just a risk. It's a risk I don't want to take, to be honest. Not the start of the season. So yeah, he's always injured. Also, I'd be interested to know if everyone was fit when he started those games. Because we had a lot of defensive injuries. Smalling and Rojo were out, especially towards the end of the last season. So, and also Blint didn't really get a chance for a long time, and once he finally got in, he was alright. Okay, he's 5 million, fair enough, but still, don't want to spend 5 million on a risk. I personally, I'm not going to go Jones, I don't think. Lindelof gets injured, that's a different story, but not for me. But I wish anyone who goes for him, good luck. Hoping he does well, I'm hoping we get clean sheets. I mean, it does, someone tweeted me earlier, it does seem not crazy, but when you got De Gea, arguably the best goalkeeper in the league, they've just bought Matic as well to protect the back 4. You know, Mourinho, I wouldn't necessarily agree that he's always a defensive manager, but he doesn't like conceding goals. He doesn't mind like conceding possession. So yeah, Man United defence, we will get clean sheets. I think we matched Spurs last year. I just don't know if any of the players are value for money. Got a really big feeling I'm going to get asked that on the scout counts as well. Is this the most difficult? Oh, it's Jamie Davern, winner of the Let's Talk FPL League last year. Welcome back. I don't think I've seen you around much this year so far. Is this the most difficult first draft in memory? No, I don't think so. I kind of like the pricing, to be honest. You can never have everyone game week 1 anyway. So I'm kind of enjoying picking the team so far. I think almost because there's so much choice, it's easier to get over the fact that you can't have everyone. I think if there was just a few players you couldn't fit in, then it's almost like, I wish I had a bit of money just to fit these extra couple in. But because there's so many you're not going to have, it's maybe a bit easier. But it also means there's going to be a lot of up and downs, I think. What's up, Big Ricey? Great post on Fantasy Football Scout by Andre94 points. Or point. About Huddersfield match. Lowe seems a great pick. Played wing back and took all corners. Is he a defender? For Huddersfield. Also, one thing I haven't considered with my team is keeping Sutner and just changing me to a 4 million defender. Just have him not play and just save another 0.5 million. Oh yeah, okay, he's a defender. I'm so bad with defenders from the promoted teams. Aguero, Chadley and Daniels, or Vardy, Zaha and Kolasinac. Probably go for the Aguero one. Leicester's fixtures aren't great off the bat. Who do I think will be top scorer? I mean, in terms of goals or FPL points, I think I'm not going to bet against Kane, to be honest, for goals. Since we're just feeding out the new season, what's a decent game week 1 score? You say 50 to 70. Yeah, I mean, it's all relative, to be honest. If the average is 30 and you score 40, then that's a pretty good start, I'd say. If you beat the average by 10 every week, you're probably onto a good start. No Man City cover, not right now. I'm just not sure I change either of those strikers to Aguero or Jesus, although it is a possibility. Not gonna. The thing is, as soon as I don't go with Kane, then I think I need Ali. So hold up. Are you sure that Lowe is on penalties? Because if he is, that's not being talked about very much. A $4.5 million defender on penalties. You know, Huddersfield or not, that's a kind of fantasy, an FPL kind of lover's dream. Son is not good cover for Spurs because he's injured. Is Lowe really on penalties? That seems crazy. If he is, he's about to go on my team. There's no way I'm missing out on a $4.5 million penalty taker. He's nailed, yeah? He took 1 penalty at the back end of last season, okay. Yeah, Fantasy Football Scout have Lowe as 2nd on penalties list. Against Fulham, Moy missed Merle on the 40th April. How is the first line pens? Oh, How is first in line with pens? Wait, do you mean Low? How come I picked Kolasinac? Am I pronouncing that right now? Kolasinac. I feel like I've nailed it. He's just an attacking wingback for 6 million. I don't know. I'm not set on him. I don't. Which 5 million defenders are people going for? Because I had Daniels before. I can't really go Dawson considering I've got Foster. I don't know who I like. Like someone like Maguire, I'm interested in, and Mawson, but I don't think they have the best opening fixtures. Alright, I'm putting Low in. You convinced me. New signings or not, he's in my team. Didn't take much to convince me. So for look, Yoshida, Daniels, Jones, Cedric, Ake and Dawson. Yeah, I mean, I kind of tie Ake and Daniels together. If I don't like one, I don't like the other, I suppose, because of fixtures. Dawson, maybe, but I've got Foster. I'm still tempted to go Heaton and Elliott. Lowe's on all corners. Alright, he's in. He's in. In fact, I'll refresh just to prove it to you. Doesn't take much to convince me to change. Maybe I'll play him every week. Maybe I'll play him every week for the first 5. Get rid of Kolasinac to. Oh yeah, that'd be good actually. Yeah, get rid of Kolasinac to. What am I trying to say? To a 4 million defender. Just play Low every week. Job done. Lo and behold, yes, he's in. Do I own a cat? No. Don't blame me if it goes wrong. I mean, it's just a sub. It don't matter. Then again, do I really want to play a defender from Huddersfield every week? Probably not. Do I own a dog? No. Interesting questions there. Keep Cole. Oh, Kolasinac, yeah. Salah or Coutinho. I'm kind of, to be honest, just because of pre-season, I'm kind of into Salah right now. I like Yoshida for 5 million, but I'm a little bit worried about Stevens. I guess Van Dijk's not going to play, but or he's going to go eventually. Announce a dog. Just be in the kitchen. How's it going, Revan? Yeah, I was impressed with Stevens. In fact, if he was going to start, I might even prefer him to Yoshida. I would actually, yeah, because he was better on bonus towards the end, and he had more. I think he got better bonus as well. Do I have a parrot? No. No more pet questions. I have no pets. There you go. With Lallana injured, would you think Milner's more likely to get game time, especially with Klein out? I don't know. Most Liverpool fans seem to think that is it Trent Arnold is going to play right back if Klein's out. I don't know if Milner's going to get in. I mean, you still got Henderson, Chan, Wijnaldum, someone else who I'm forgetting. So I don't think Milner just goes straight into the team. It's a shame because I really like Milner. If he's going to play midfield, 6.5 defender, would be great. Mkhitaryan looks promising. Yeah, to be honest, the only reason I don't have Mkhitaryan is because I'm not sure of his starts. If Pogba and Mkhitaryan were both guaranteed starts, then there's no question I would have Mkhitaryan instead. And I probably will still change him. Yeah, I'm not quite sure yet. Wijnaldum will take Lallana's spot. Yeah, I kind of figure he'll now feature. He did really well, by the way, last year. Got way more goals and assists than I thought he had. Just quickly look it up here. I mean, 7 million. He actually played quite a bit last year. Again, more than I probably realised. Who did I say? Chan, Wijnaldum, Henderson, did I say that? They're going to buy though, I reckon. We'll see. He's got 6 goals, 9 assists last year. Season before that, 11 goals, 6 assists. I mean, I'm probably not bringing in Wijnaldum if we're honest. And the fixtures aren't great, but still. Oh man, if Sanchez gets a hat-trick, then... Yeah, he's straight in already, isn't he? No doubts about it. Has to rotate Ronaldo as he only scores at home. Ince played as a second striker. Wow. I have looked at Ince recently, but I'm trying to steer clear of newly promoted players, apart from my 2 defenders, as you can see. I mean, my team is pretty... I don't know. Dull? That's probably the best word. I haven't really gone for any major gambles. Have I considered Mane, Salah double up? Not recently, no. I think I had Salah and Coutinho at one point. There'll definitely be more Sanchez interest as we get closer to game week 1, because that's when thoughts start running through people's heads that they've got it wrong. Doesn't matter how set you were in your team, when it comes to getting, like, when it comes to Thursday night, I'll stream Thursday night, everyone will be in a panic. Myself included. I'll be trying to nail... In fact, I've got to nail my team down before I come on stream, otherwise it'll be a nightmare. You can just picture it now. Ince played right wing in the second half, but he's an excellent shout, you think? What am I looking for? Keep forgetting who everyone's playing for. Yeah, fixtures are okay because they're the same as Lowe's. Low assists today with Mooney. Love's crossing the ball, Trippier. Oh, I'm in. I'm so in for Low. Let me see what I can do with that extra money. Kolasinac to low. Sorry, Kolasinac to a 4 million defender. Whichever one's got the lowest. Oh, Goldson. What? Why can't I put him in? Oh yeah. It gives me 2 million spent, so 9 million midfielder. Don't know about that. That'd be nice though, wouldn't it? I could get De Bruyne. De Bruyne instead of Pogba. How about this? Here we go. Ready for this. Kevin De Bruyne. But that means no Pogba. I'm liking Pogba. Let's see this. There we go. What about that team? Beautiful. Salah's 9 million. Matt Ryan has good save potential fixtures after game week 1. You reckon he's the new Heaton? I wonder if Heaton is actually still the old Heaton. Salah, De Bruyne, Lukaku, Kane, Anzar, and Fabregas. Ignore which 4 million defender it is. We'll see. 12 clean sheets for Huddersfield. Alright, they're probably not getting any this year then. What's up, Killian? Having De Bruyne will mean 3 potential captain options. Yeah, I don't know if I'm that bothered about that. I think I'm pretty happy to captain Kane or Lukaku every week. Until I panic and have to get Sanchez, Aguero and Jesus all in game week 2. Yeah, I'm tempted to go Heaton and Elliott as well. I mean, it's an extra 0.5 million. I wonder if I just play Heaton every week. Mkhitaryan's being played up front this season. I just worry about the wing spots for Man United. Like, I mean, I know he's not necessarily an out-and-out winger, but you know, the two kind of wide attacking positions. Got so many options. The thing is, De Bruyne can explode, but you've got to catch him at the right time. I remember after like 4 or 5 games last year, it was like, you know, I had to get him in. I remember Luke on the Scoutcast was going to get double up, him and... Who would it have been? Can't remember now. He was going to double up on City midfield or something like that. And he never, I don't think he ever got him in, and he just went quiet. But he still nearly scored 200 points, so... Strange. Am I setting up a Let's Talk FPL League? Yes, there should already be one live. It's in the description below. 157-165216. De Bruyne. De Bruyne. Does that leave me with 0.5 million? No, that's... Oh yeah, because I went 6 to 4.5, didn't I? Can I really go No Man City? I think I can. I love changing my team on the fly. This is the thing, you can make so many changes, you could be here all night. Do I fancy J-Rod over Austin? No, but I fancy J-Rod to be more likely to start. But other than that, no, I quite like Austin, to be honest. If I knew that Austin and J-Rod were definitely both going to start, I'd go Austin every single time. Without fail. Lonzo's basically a winger who gets clean sheets, still good value. I know, I'm just looking at my team now thinking, how do I get another 0.5 million? Okay, I could do... Oh, hang on a sec. What am I doing here? I kind of like Sutler and low. Lukaku definitely getting captaincy, 100%. He will be my captain. You were here earlier, remember? Lukaku always scores against West Ham, apart from when he doesn't. Yeah, I mean, yeah, De Bruyne doesn't score that often, I suppose. Problem with Rodriguez is that if it goes wrong, you have nowhere to go for it. If it fails, unless you got money in the bank. Yeah, that's fair enough. In the description below the stream, cheers, Big Royce. Iheanacho's just got injured. He's a no-go. I don't know how long he's out for, but he got injured tonight. I mean, I could have money in the bank. Like, let me show you a different team here, right? This is closer to what I was thinking of a few days ago. So this is another team. So this is with Heaton. So this team has 0.5 million in the bank. So if Rodriguez is awful or gets injured, I can go up to like Deeney or Gale or Austin. Hopefully they haven't increased in price, of course. So something like that. I've had that kind of, in fact, that's been kind of my defensive budget kind of allocation, I suppose, for quite a while. Something like that. That's it, and that's with, like I said, that's with 0.5 million in the bank. Will Chelsea be as good defensively this year? I don't see why not, to be honest. From FFS, Chris Lowe is also an attacking option for the Terriers, but he's now under threat from new signing Scott Malone. Oh, doesn't sound good. You have to get rid of him now. In fact, here we go again, like thinking. With that team, 0.5 million, I could change Lowe or Sutner to a 4 million defender who I never want to play. I could go for a 7 million striker, so then I can get like Chicharito, but 3 away games to start, do I really want him? It's so tricky. No, this is what I'm considering now. There's not an absolute need for 4.5 millions on the bench. Would you still keep Heaton considering Burnley's fixtures? Yeah, I don't think the fixtures are that bad. He does rotate okay with Elliott. But I don't... The thing is, the home fixtures are really good, the away fixtures are really tough, but the away fixtures is where the save points come. I don't know who wrote the article. It's a guy called Richard Kenny, I think, Inferno something or other on Twitter. I've mentioned this goalkeeper article a few times, but he basically said the home and away points weren't that much different for Heaton. And do you know what I mean? Overall, he was the highest scorer for goalies, so maybe rotation's not all it's cracked up to be, and maybe I do play him in those harder fixtures. Inferno 6, yeah, that's it. So yeah, I mean, I could raise another 0.5 million and get Hernandez. I don't know if I want to start the season with 0.5 or a million in the bank. I don't like doing that. Feels wrong. Yeah, I've heard that Long might start for Burnley. I wonder if they're going to buy again, though. I mean, most of the time, 4 million defender options are too good to be true. How's it going, AD? Just on the stream, you were looking at not starting with Kane and have Lukaku, Jesus and Firmino. Allows you to have De Bruyne as well. What's your thought? I mean, you've got double Man City attack there. I mean, they're both good options. You don't have to start with Kane just because everyone else is. I mean, potentially at 12.5 million, he won't be good value. I don't buy the August thing. I've said this already. I don't buy the fact that he's definitely not going to score because he never scores in August. I think that's rubbish. He might, if he doesn't, it's not because he hasn't before. It's just that he didn't happen to score this time. But also, you look at his points per match, was pretty crazy last year. But you watch those last, I think it was Leicester, he put 4 past or something like that. And I can't remember who the other team was at the end of last season, but he was just shooting on sight. And there was a couple of goals that on another day Schmeichel saves, and do you know what I mean? It was great to have him at the time, but that kind of boosted his points up a bit. He's not going to do that at the start of the season. He's not just going to shoot on sight. I mean, he does shoot a fair bit, but not like those last few matches where the league was over and he was just going for golden boots. So, will Mkhitaryan play? He should do. The problem is, now I've said this before, I've not seen too many of our games pre-season. From what I've read, Martial should start as well because he's been playing so well. But that means like you got Lingard and Rashford and Mata. They're not in the team then, because we're probably going to play Matic, Herrera, and Pogba in midfield, I would imagine. So it's tough for Man United, I think. Who do I think will take penalties for Man United? I think it's going to be Lukaku. I know he didn't do great for Everton, but I think he's going to step up. We'll see. Martial won't start in your opinion. Rashford will. This is the problem. Like, or will Martial and Rashford both start and Mkhitaryan gets benched? Would I get Van Arnold for Palace? I quite like their opening fixtures. I just feel that 5.5 for him is quite expensive. Long signed a new contract for Burnley today. 3-year deal, 4 million defender, and he said he expects to have more playing time this season. Nice. Okay. One to watch out for. I think Rashford is going to get starts. I think I don't think he necessarily proved Mourinho wrong last year, but he kind of showed him a side that I don't think Mourinho thought he had. You know, like towards the end of the season when players would get injured, he made a point of saying that even when Rashford wasn't scoring or when he was injured, he was kind of fighting for his place or fighting to get back for the team. I think Mourinho really liked that, so yeah, I agree. I think he's going to play quite a bit, which is why I'm worried about Mkhitaryan. I think Lukaku, yeah, of course he wants golden boot. I don't think that's going to make any difference early doors though. Kane missed 3 months. Yeah, it was crazy how many games Kane missed, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, if you look at it kind of fixture-wise and coverage or whatever, then yeah, City versus Brighton, you've got to imagine there's goals there. And that Brighton is just going to get absolutely tonked. Just accidentally open Photoshop. It's probably going to kill my PC now. You think we're losing Kane to get both Jesus and Mkhitaryan? Is that sensible? It depends who you get rid of, really. The thing with Kane is it's easy to downgrade him, so it's nice having him for the get-go. Yeah, I'm probably, and this includes myself in this, you probably don't think about that kind of stuff enough. Do you know what I mean? Like, if De Bruyne or Sanchez goes mad, how do I get him in? I probably can't. I mean, Sanchez I'm not too worried about because it's hard to kind of get someone in because he's the highest priced mid. But De Bruyne is kind of nice to start with because then you can downgrade to any other midfielder. Apart from, I don't know how much Hazard is. Is he 10 or 10.5? Or is he more? 10.5. Excuse me. Oh, Kane or Lukaku? Alright, I'll tell you now. I would say Lukaku, but everyone else will say Kane. Lukaku's the first and only name that's been in every team for me. But the kind of, I guess, sensible option or common answer is definitely Kane. Am I from Bristol? No, Western. Near enough. Going that City players is a blunder. That's fair enough. But which City player do you bring in my team as it stands now? And who do you get rid of? Is my question to you. What big player would I avoid this year? I would never say avoid a player for a whole year. I'm going to avoid Sanchez at the start. If that helps. Is Cedric nailed? I think he should be. And there were some like rumours that there was a bit of a divide there, but I'm not sure that's not right. Never ceases to amaze you how much opinion is presented as fact on these streams. Is that from me? Or how many questions are asked that cannot be answered? Yeah, that's kind of like one of the things. The reason I like streaming is just to get people chatting about it. To us. I don't want to sit here because like I'm not the fucking FPL guru or oracle or whatever. So just trying to get people talking. So I like that people have different opinions in the chat, even if they are stated as fact. You changed Mickey to Sané. Nah, not interested in Sané one bit now. As someone pointed out to me though, last stream or the stream before, I said that Sané was going to be straight in my team at the end of last season, so it shows you how quickly things change. Mickey is not a sure starter yet, I said that. Would I like to get 0.5 to get Mane? No, I think my team is safe-ish, right? I don't think I've gone for too many punts, so I think I can afford to punt on Salah instead of finding 0.5 million. Thought William would never leave. He has left, but he could be back. We've all got crystal ball. That's the beauty of before game week 1. Everyone is so sure that their pick is the right pick. And it comes to game week 1. I'm telling you, this time next week it'll all gone to shit. The deadline will have passed. Arsenal, you wouldn't have Arsenal players, and they would have gone mad. And someone would have got injured during training or something, and the deadline's passed. It'd be brilliant. It'd be chaos. Downgrade William to someone like Richie and upgrade defence. It depends on your defence, to be honest. It's hard to answer that without seeing the rest of the team. I think William is probably worth the money over Richie. If you had the money, would you pick De Bruyne or Mane? That's really tough. Probably De Bruyne. What makes you pick Fabregas over William? I'll be honest, I'm not decided on that position. I think Fabregas tends to do well when he plays. And I think he's going to start. But I like the fact William's probably going to be further forward and on free kicks, probably. I don't think J-Rod is madness, to be honest. I mean, I think it's for 6 million. What can you expect, really? I mean, at some point, I like going for fixtures. I think I show that quite a bit. I like going for the fixtures. So, how risky can a 6 million forward be? Like TFF pointed out that I'm kind of stuck with him if I've got no money in the bank, but I can start with 0.5 in the bank. I love the fact you corrected salad to salad. You could look at Mooney for 6 million as well. Yeah, there's a couple of options I can swap straight to, I think, but I probably want the extra money. You're not considering a punt on Austin. Looks like he's ahead of Gabbiadini. I don't know. Southampton fans don't seem as confident as we do about Austin being first choice. There's a bit of talk of the fact that he's kind of a natural goal scorer, but apart from that, he doesn't kind of fit in with the team. Like he's not, an athlete, I suppose. He's not quick. He's not going to be able to press and stuff like that. So I don't know if he is nailed, to be honest. But I said last time, if Austin was nailed, he'd almost be as nailed in my team as Lukaku is. Charlie Austin is just an FPL legend, I would say. Even though it's only been a few, like one season and a bit last year, but still. Company and Salah or Trippier and Mane? Ooh. Can I say Trippier and Salah and save yourself 1 million? To be honest. I think Company's a good pick, but Trippier just seems much better value at 0.5 less. I think Mane's a great pick, but Salah could be just as good for 0.5 less. So save yourself $1 million and get those two. That $1 million is probably more worthwhile to you. If Gabbiadini was 6.5, you'd probably get him in. I don't know, what does my webcam look like on stream? Because I watch it here and it's fucking laggy as shit. Yeah, it's fucking laggy on stream as well. Not cool. Rodriguez over Rossett. No, this is what I'm saying. If they were both nailed, and I knew for 100% both of them were going to start every game they were fit for, Austin is the one I get. But I don't know if he is, so I've kind of gone for Rodriguez, who also has nice fixtures. If Cedric starts tomorrow, does that help us pick him? Probably. But you can't just look at one player. You kind of got to look at the whole team. If it looks like it's kind of a whole first 11, then maybe. Amy, you're a legend. And we've got like nearly 160 people watching, but only 27 likes. So yeah, if you want to hit that like button, that'd be much appreciated. Up and over 100 the last few videos. Cheers TFF. We'll chat about getting you on some point in the season. Because you definitely got some good picks. Or good ideas, good knowledge, etc. Plus you finished number 4 in the world one year. That's impressive. No love for 3-5-2. I've kind of got... The thing is, if I go 3-5-2, I'd probably just get Chadley or Phillips in. So I've still got a West Brom player as my kind of 7th attacker. So I then have a forward that won't play. What's my opinion on 5 at the back? I think... I tweeted this earlier. I think the amount of people playing 4 and 5 at the back will massively decrease this week as we get to game week 1 and they realise, yeah, it looks great when you don't have to click yes, like confirm, finalise or whatever, and the deadline's going to pass. When you get closer to that, they'll move it. Polls, yeah, we'll do them in a minute. Yeah, so, oh nice, doubled the like count. Legends. Yeah, if you want to go and vote, top right hand corner, click the polls. Go and vote and I'll read them out in a couple of minutes. See where we're at. Everyone subscribe and like, yes. We get over 1,600 subs maybe tonight. We're on 1597. I think it was only a couple of streams ago we were trying to get to 1,500, so it's 100 or so in the last week. I guess it's kind of good time of the season to be streaming and whatnot, as people are well into FPL. Yeah, polls, we're only at about 57 responses, I'd say, for the amount of people. I know they're kind of playing up for some people. Wow, one of them was really close. If you can go and vote now, I'd really appreciate it. Yeah, Friday deadline, don't forget that. It's not that I don't have love for City players, it's just fitting them in, really. Why do I have Daniels? I mean, he's pretty attacking. I've kind of tried to go for attacking players. Attacking defenders when clean sheets are a bit harder to predict. I mean, surely, yeah, Chelsea, Spurs, Man United will do well for clean sheets again, but at the start, we'll see. Pogba is a stronger choice than Mkhitaryan. I mean, it's less risk in the fact he'll guaranteed to start. Will he outscore him, though? Don't know. Deadline for game week 1 happens when you're awake for a change. It's usually at 4 AM your time. You can see the presses. Yeah, I'll have to be checking them at work. Do I think Man United will play 3 at the back or 2? I think we'll revert to 4. The only problem with points per game, it's not a problem, but you've got to take into account that you don't have players all season. So it doesn't matter. Let's say Alonso got 5.7, I think it's about 5.7, right? Points per game. And De Bruyne only got 4.6, but you get him in when he scores 8 or 9 points a game. Then suddenly it's a whole different story. And then you swap him out for Pogba, and Pogba scores twice in a row. And he gets 10 points per game. Now, obviously, you're not going to nail that every time, so the consistency of Alonso is great. But it's not just as easy as saying, well, he got great points per game, let's get him in. Chelsea could get more clean sheets this year, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I think Azpilicueta is quite a good pick at 6.5 as well, but don't know. I think the thing is, if let's say Alonso didn't exist, then I think Azpilicueta for 6.5 is really good. But once I get to Azpilicueta, I always feel like I want to find that 0.5 to get to Alonso. Does that make sense? Okay. So the question Samson's just answered is basically what I answered earlier. You might be the guy that tweeted me about it. So have I thought about getting a 6 million defender in place of a 6 million forward? But it's not that easy because I can't just swap the forward to a defender. I can't play 4. Well, I can play 4-4-2, but I can't get rid of Rodriguez. So I have to swap one of my 4.5 million defenders for the 6. And then swap my 6 million forward to the 4.5 forward. But the 4.5 forward is just useless at that point. If that makes sense. What do I think about the Neymar move? It sounds super dodgy how the money was sourced. I'm not sure if they can let that continue, really. I kind of see why he's probably done it. I mean, yes, of course he's gone for money. But he's kind of now out of Messi's shadow. I saw a good tweet. It's like now it's Ronaldo's Real Madrid, Messi's at Barcelona, and Neymar's PSG. But it sounds like they're not going to stop investing. So why not go and try and, he's now the biggest fish in that pond. Ali or Ericsson? So I'm sure if I was going to get one of them, I'd probably go Ali. But Ericsson kind of tempts me, to be honest. He's so consistent. So I think Wijnaldum's an okay option at 7 million, but I just think there's so many others right now I wouldn't get him, especially with the fixtures. Since Phillips is injured and likely to miss out, who would be a better alternative? So you could look at Chadley or Fraser at Bournemouth, maybe. Ericsson's the better player, but Ali scored 15 goals last year. That's pretty impressive. Who's to say he doesn't score more this year? When we get a glimpse of Mark's team, I suspect that will be discussed on Tuesday. Get to the point now where I'm repeating answers. I do wonder about stream time, whether I should just keep it to an hour. Because those that don't watch it live, there's quite a few people that like to watch it afterwards. But I'd say if I do like a 2-hour one, they probably don't want to watch it for 2 hours, but they're worried about what they miss out like in the second hour. And it does get to a point where I'm just repeating answers. So I wonder if I should just keep them to an hour from now on. Not tonight maybe, but just a thought going forward. Yeah, so to answer that question, where was it? Am I worried about Kane's slow start to the seasons? No. Am I worried about Wembley effect? I don't think so, to be honest. Fair enough, I get the arguments for it. And to be fair, they wanted to make the pitch smaller and weren't allowed. So maybe it is something that affects their thinking, but no, I don't think I'm that bothered about it, to be honest. Not enough for me to not pick him. Ali is better value than Kane. Now that could be true. That could be true. But I'm more likely to captain Kane than I am Ali. Whether or not it's a right decision, it's just the decision I'll make. Do I think Fraser's nailed? From what I know of Bournemouth, or what I've read from others who maybe know Bournemouth more than me, is he's probably nailed while Stanislas is out. After that, I'm not so sure, to be honest. Who is the best new player this season? Lukaku at Man United. Is Hernandez a good pick at 7 million? I don't know if he is, to be honest. I just think for 7 million, it's a bit more than I really want to pay for that spot. So I'd have to be really sure about it, and I'm not, especially with 3 away games to start. And they got quite a few, you know, or at least they got a couple of new players, and Outovich is there as well. I don't know how this is going to fit in. I don't know. Given the amount of goals they scored, do you think we need at least one of De Bruyne or Jesus? It depends, because they're going to share points a lot, aren't they? I mean, you're going to go through games where your player, you know, sometimes you get those games, like I think people had Costa maybe, or Hazard. I think I had Hazard or something like last year or the year before. Chelsea won 5-0, and I don't even think he got an assist. So it does happen. I don't know if we need one, but I think they're good options. Let's just leave it at that, I think. So I think Ozil will go back to form. I think there's a good chance he outscores 9.5 million, but there is so many other options at that price that there's no way I'm taking that risk. Give me one out of the box pick you think it is. Yeah, like I just said, I think Ozil could outscore that price, but I just don't want to risk it, to be honest. You wish Martial was less money because you're interested to see how much time we'll get at striker with Lukaku. I'd say not a lot, to be honest. What's up, Robert? Yeah, Sterling apparently is doing really well, and apparently he's been playing like as a striker in the 2. I don't know if he's improved his finishing though, has he? Because that's kind of the problem with him sometimes. What Man United 8 million mid would I run? So I've got Mkhitaryan right now, but I had Pogba in the stream. It'd be one of those, so I don't think I'd go for Martial. I think there's more chance of Mkhitaryan playing. Pogba's the safest in terms of rotation, but I don't even know if we should be going for a Man United midfielder. I'm actually almost at the point where I just think it's Lukaku, De Gea, or no one. Maybe Valencia if you can afford it, or if you think that's good value for money. But again, I'm not sure it is. Not sure he is. Oh yeah, polls. Last chance now to vote on the polls before I read out where we're at. So top right hand corner, little I, click that and vote, and then we'll go through the results in just a sec. Orla Cassette. Very clever. Very clever. Any interested in putting Rashford in? Only 7.5 and will probably start every game. I think thinking he's going to start every game is potentially or most likely wrong. Don't think he will start every game. Although he may start the majority. I think he played the most games actually last year, but I don't know. I mean, Mkhitaryan last year got introduced quite slowly, and they did really well. I mean, he got injured, but I don't know. 7.5. I think 7.5 million for Rashford is too much when he takes up a forward spot, to be honest. Defoe is guaranteed goals at Bournemouth. To think how many he managed at Sunderland. I mean, he got a lot of goals at Sunderland through penalties, but he'll probably be on penalties at Bournemouth, so guaranteed 15 plus goals. Then he could be a bargain at 8 million. People seem to have gone off him though. I don't see him in many teams now. You'll be amazed if I stick with Fabregas. Yeah, I probably would be too, to be honest. Best wing back nailed, who's not Alonso or Trippier. It's maybe a punt, maybe because we haven't really seen him in action in the Premier League, but I think it's got to be Kolasinac, does it not? Maybe Danny Rose when he's back. I love Danny Rose, but he's quite expensive. Aren't I worried Fabregas won't get game time? In the long run, yes, but not straight away. I know. I mean, I tweeted that thing about Man United defenders earlier, and then when I read it and I got a few replies, people did get me thinking. I mean, our fixtures are pretty nice to start with. West Ham at home, Swansea away, Leicester at home, Stoke away, and Everton at home. I mean, that's not a bad opening 5 set of fixtures. Can see like maybe 3 clean sheets there. So I think I could be talked into Valencia, but I still think there's better options. Rashford will start 90% of all games. I don't know. Just think how many players are going to take those 2 spots. I mean, there's always a chance that we play like Herrera gets benched and we play Matic and Pogba in the 2. Then maybe someone else gets to play 10, but not sure. But Amy is right. I mean, Rashford started. I said it to me ago. Rashford did play the most games out of our whole squad last year. Now, I think some of that was to do with Martial being rubbish, Mkhitaryan getting kind of introduced late and then getting injured, Ibra getting injured. So I think there was a few more circumstances than just he was the #1 pick, to be honest. I wouldn't go for Rashford. I think it's too risky. Alright, let's do the polls before I forget again. Like the awful person that I am. See you later, Samson. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Scoutcast actually. It'd be interesting. The only thing I'm worried about is last time, obviously my team's changed a bit, but last time I saw Johnny's team, it was so similar to mine. And he's not really been posting his much. So it's not like I've copied him or anything. Am I setting up my team for early wildcard? Nope. But I probably still will wildcard early. I mean, to be fair, I mostly only set my team up for like the first 4 or 5 fixtures anyway, so it's kind of the same thing. Okay, polls. Don't answer any more questions till you read them, for fuck's sake. Everything's going slow here. Maybe she is watching Netflix. Okay, so current formation. This is absolutely going to be 3-4-3. So 3-4-3 is 80%. No surprise there, I don't think. 4-3-3 though is beating 3-5-2. So 4-3-3 has 9% of the votes. It's only 8 people. Just to let you know, there's 87 votes now. So we kind of nearly doubled what it was just a minute ago. 3-5-2 is 6%, and apparently 3% of people are playing something else, which would be 5 at the back. And that seems unlikely that they go through with that. But we'll see. Which City striker would you go for? So, wow, Aguero is so low here. When Aguero scores a hat-trick on the opening day, my missus has got him and I'm stuck with Kane. Never going to live it down. So Jesus is on 40%. So this is nearly 100 votes on this one. So Jesus is on 40%. Getting neither of them is the second most popular. So that's 35%. People still kind of deciding between the two is 13%. And only 10% say you should just get Aguero. Best third striker. So I couldn't. This is the problem with these polls. I can only fit a max of 5 options in. It's why I didn't do the 4.5 million defender one. So best third striker. So I've listed Mooney, Gale, Austin, and J-Rod. Now maybe I should have put best cheap third striker because 30% of you have said somebody else. So you don't like any of those 4 options. 27% say J-Rod. 26% say Austin. So it is very close between those two. 9% say Gale and 5% say Mooney. So there you go. Mooney not too popular. And then pre-season form. I only put this one in because I've been thinking about it recently, like today. So pre-season form, do you? Hopefully people kind of got what I meant. I didn't put the answers very well. So 44% of you kind of use it as 50-50, a bit of pre-season, a bit of not. 36% say it depends on the team and player, which I think is quite interesting. I think that does happen. I think, like Salah, for example, has done really well in pre-season, and I'm kind of thinking about getting him in. Whereas Ince has done really well pre-season. He's only 6 million, but because of who he is and who he's playing for, I don't use that pre-season form as much in my decisions as I am with Salah. So I'm kind of the same there. I think it depends on which team and player it is. 15% say that you try not to pay too much attention to it, and 4% say you base most of your decisions on it. So pretty split. What's up, Luke? Oh yeah, is it me or back in the day was there far less rotation? Maybe, yeah, probably, but I mean, again, around big matches, probably not. I think it's not, I suppose it coincides, but there's just such big squads. Like City squad, it's not just that they got a big squad; they got such a big squad of good players. You watched Aguero today; he looked off the pace. I gotta be honest, I didn't see it, so. Yeah, I've been thinking. I mean, I've changed my team quite a dramatic. Well, yeah, dramatic maybe, like 4 or 5 times on stream in like last hour, let alone off stream. No De Bruyne. Can I do that? Am I allowed to go for no De Bruyne? Sigurdsson or Pogba? Pogba. I mean, if Sigurdsson stays at Swansea, he may be okay value, but the 8.5 tag kind of puts me off a bit. And if he moves, which seems likely, I'm not interested in him at all, I don't think. Especially at Everton. If Southampton play 3 at the back, then Bertrand's no-brainer. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to, but I think Bertrand's an okay pick either way. Surprised Tadic ownership is so low. I think, especially in the FPL community, like on Twitter and Fantasy Football and stuff, I think people have been burnt by Tadic so many times that they're just not interested in him anymore. You can't stay away from Nacho in your team. Subbed on for a friendly today, immediately involved in 2 goals. But he's also injured, right? So we'll have to wait and see how long he's out for. How's it going, Jeff? Why Bertrand over Celtic? Cedric even. Bertrand's pretty good for kind of assist goals and maybe not goals, but like attacking returns and clean sheets. I think you know, FPL Hints, Chief FPL Hints, whatever his name is. He said at the start of kind of pre-season that he got like 19 returns last year, so either attacking or defensive returns. It's pretty good. Do I think Austin will be a decent third striker? Yeah, I answered this earlier. Definitely, if he's going to start, he's definitely a decent third striker. The question is, will he start every game? The Twitter bubble of FPL players is a small percentage of the total. Yeah, true. And to be fair, there is now 2 million signed up, so... Jeez, there's going to be a lot more people sign up in the next week. It's going to almost double. Southampton play Newcastle in game week 8. That's the time to get Tadic in. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. You like it's yeah. I mean, it's fine to like Tadic. I mean, he's always got the kind of stats there. It's always like he's about to explode points, but not for me. No, just not going for it. Should you captain Jesus in game 1? Do you think Jesus will be your highest scorer that week? If so, yes, I would recommend captaining him. If you're wanting a Chelsea defender, why don't you get rid of Mkhitaryan? Thing is, if I get rid of Mkhitaryan, I'll probably just get Pogba, so I don't have any money for a Chelsea defender. Plus, I kind of like the defenders I've got. Very boring, though. I feel like that is the FFS template of defenders. I want, like, company. I want Kolasinac. Kolasinac? Fuck's sake, I gotta nail that name before Tuesday. My thoughts on Darmian are... I hate to say this, I sound like a broken record now. If he starts, then I think he's a good pick. But is he going to start? Are we definitely going to play... Oh, I need to move the mic. Hang on. Tell me if this sounds... Doesn't sound better when I mute it. Does that sound much better? Much clearer than before? Yeah, I know talking about Darmian is a bit boring when you say this, but if he's going to play in a back 3 and play as the wing back, then yeah, he's a good price. You know, Man United are going to get clean sheets, I think. I don't know. Not for me. Okay, it sounds better. That's because it's right in front of my face now. In fact, you can even see it on stream. Whereas before, it's off to the side, so it's out of the way. Which makes it very annoying if I have to type or anything. Would you say you can be misled by a player's price, as in you'll ignore a player just because he's cheap? Absolutely, we all do it. Not well. Some people will cotton on earlier. Like, for example, when Kane was super cheap, I got onto him quite early, and others took a long time to catch up. I even captained him. No, sorry, I always remember I played him in that Chelsea game where he got like 2 goals and assists or something. And everyone else kind of benched, not everyone else obviously, but a lot of people benched him. And then like Mahrez last year, I got on him really quick, but not last year, the year before. I got on Mahrez really pretty quick anyway, but not Vardy. So I always thought he wasn't going to carry it on. So yeah, I do think that happens. Soccer 11 says useless team. Thanks for your input. If you have any constructive feedback on why this team is useless, I'll be more than happy to hear it. Is Coutinho not safer? Safer than who? Safer than Salah? I don't know. I almost feel like Salah is my luxury punt almost. You'd love to have assurance that Jones or Lindelof is going to start. Yeah, I don't think you're going to get it, unfortunately. You have less experience than me with only 4 years, but you say I should buy City players. You're probably right, but we'll see. Do I reckon Lindelof will start? I mean, surely he is the longer-term partner for Bailly, but he might not start at the start of the season. And as TFF kept saying before he went, like, Jones did start quite a few games when he was fit. Almost all of the games when he was fit he started, although I do think there was probably other circumstances. Damn, this mic sounds much better. 3 City players to 0. Yeah, I'm not going to go... The 3 City players in my team, it's not going to happen. That was just that's kind of a joke team when they did well earlier. I saw Luke saying that he fancies company. I agree. I just don't think I can fit him in. Because I think before I get company, I think I want Kolasinac. So that means I have to have 3 pretty pricey striker defenders, 6, 6 and 5.5. I'm not sure I'm ready for that. Although I could do it. I could download Fabregas to Fraser and upgrade Bertrand and Daniels. That could work. Geez, this mic sounds much better, doesn't it? I'm gonna have to have it here all the time. Just gotta be careful not to knock around because it kind of picks up everything. Surely I'll have 1 City player by the end of next week. Or by next week. Yeah, you're probably right. Who will it be though? It'll probably be De Bruyne. Maybe company. I'm always like, not against it, but I'm always wary of going like for 3 premium defenders. I feel like the ones I've got are premium enough. I just think the cheaper defenders can quite often match more pricey players, whereas I don't think that necessarily happens as much in attack. Too much. Too much what? Picks up too much? Are you talking about the mic? Heaton is an interesting pick. Yeah, I'm not still sold. Sorry, I'm not sold on that yet. How's it going, Salah? I'm not sold on Heaton. I just got a feeling he's going to do what... The thing is, if Heaton does what he did last year, and there's no saying he won't, like he won't be able to do it again, but then for 5 million, it's a bargain. You can't look at De Bruyne when Ali is 0.5 million cheaper. And to be honest, Ali and Ericsson have started to go out of teams, like template teams, like FPL, Twitter, and Fantasy Football Scout or whatever. And Salah and De Bruyne seem to be, you know, kind of a bit less or a bit more. Seem to be coming in too much. Are people overlooking David Silva? The thing is, he can probably play the majority, but he's kind of like assister kind of guy now. I know he did well back in the last season, but no, not for me. I think there are overlooking him, but I think that's fine. Everyone's getting Trippier, but what about Davies? Might be a good differential. So, I love Davies for his heroics at the end of last season. Like, he's always got a place in my FPL heart. But Rose is going to be back at some point. Whereas with Trippier right now, there's not really any competition. Now, they might buy, but as it stands, we're going for the nailed-on right-back, 5.5 million, in a Spurs team that will keep clean sheets, and a full-back that will attack. I just I said this a few times last year. Sometimes you just have to pick the obvious choice. Like Trippier's ownership is, let's see what 20%. So now straight away that sounds high, but only 1 in every 5 managers has him. So it's not like he's absolutely everywhere. I just think he is the obvious pick at 5.5, and you shouldn't just look away from them just for the sake of it. Do I follow polls or go for differentials? I wouldn't say I follow polls, but I don't go for differentials just for the sake of it, to be honest. I don't mind bringing in a player that everyone wants to get. I mean, there are a lot of times when the groupthink is correct. Do you know what I mean? And Trippier, I think, is a good example of that. Lanzini to Liverpool, 7 million in that team. Nah. I don't know. I don't think I'd be interested in him. I think that's a bit like Sigurdsson moving. I think he has to stay there. Is Coutinho leaving Liverpool? I mean, the press are trying to say that he is. Barcelona are going to take him, especially now they've got the money for Neymar. But I don't know if he's that good. Like, Coutinho is a really good player, but is he Barcelona level? I don't know. Is there the potential that Barcelona can't get someone better than Coutinho? Maybe. I've only seen him a few times. I like that the Dembele dude, the French guy from Dortmund. I don't know how much he'd be going for. I'm not saying Coutinho is bad before you is a god. Oh, I don't know. I'm not saying he's a bad player. Like, definitely not. He's a great player, right? Is he Barcelona level though? Any concerns over Mkhitaryan's game time? Yeah, absolutely. I have a lot of concerns actually, and he'll probably leave my team before game week 1. There you go. He's better than any Man United player. I never said he wasn't better than any Man United player. I said, is he Barcelona level? He's a Barcelona player all day for you. That's fair enough. Who in the Prem is Barcelona level? That's a good question. He's Barca bench level. The thing is, if he's going in there to replace Neymar, I don't know. Maybe I'll be proved wrong. He is Brazilian after all. Why are people getting Kante? Because you'll have like whatever you want to call them, casuals or noobs or whatever, who just they'll look at Kante being a good player and they'll get him. They won't look into the fact, because you got to remember, a lot of people do this for like work leagues and stuff where they're not really taking it seriously. So they know that Kante is a good player in real life. So they get him in their team. That's about it, really. Yeah, that's a good point. De Bruyne. Is De Bruyne better than Coutinho? I think he probably is. Is Hazard better than Coutinho? On his day, I think he probably is. Is he too inconsistent? Maybe not. De Bruyne is the best player in the Premier League, yeah. Is he the best player in the Premier League? I'll have to have a proper think about that. He's definitely up there. Coutinho is the best player in the league on fit. I don't think he is. I really don't. He is very good. Like, I'm not, like I said earlier, I'm not saying he's not good. I don't know. Do I put Coutinho in the team to win me a game, or do I put Hazard in there to win me a game? Probably Hazard. Then again, does Barcelona need someone that's going to go and win them a game, or do they need someone who's a bit more consistent, like Coutinho? Probably. They got Messi and Suarez to win them enough games. I'll do a vote on that next time. Who's the best player in the Premier League? I'll have Coutinho on there. Although by the time I stream next, maybe it'll be sold. Rooney's a good pick after Everton's run of tough fixtures. Is he a good pick? He's an interesting pick, and I hope he does well over the first few game weeks, because I'll be definitely interested. I've got Rooney in draft, actually. You think Coutinho is far better than Ozil? You are quite biased against Ozil though. When am I next streaming? That's a good question, because if you'd asked me that yesterday, I would have said Tuesday, and then I streamed tonight. So I'd say there's an outside chance I'll stream on Sunday. Otherwise, the next one will be... It actually won't be till Wednesday, and that will not be like a stream like this. I'll basically be recording like a new series live called Showdown. So going against another FPL community dude. There's some rules and stuff. I'll explain it all on Wednesday probably. And then I'll stream the night before Game Week 1, so on Thursday, basically. So maybe Sunday. Because otherwise it won't be till Thursday. I'll do another proper stream. Because Tuesday is Scoutcast, I believe. Who's better, Ozil or Coutinho? The thing about Ozil is, I think he is probably better than he's shown in the last season or two. I almost feel like the team needs to be built around him. Maybe this is just cliche commentator speak, but I think Ozil kind of needs a team to be built around him, whereas Coutinho can probably slot into more teams. That's just a cop out, isn't it? Probably. I almost see like even like Pogba. Like Pogba, I think a lot of people look at Pogba's price tag and just don't give him the credit he deserves. But again, I think we showed last year he needs to be in the position like he wants to be in. He can't fit in elsewhere. So you kind of have to build the team a bit around Pogba, which I think is what Mourinho's doing. Could I see Man City playing Danilo in a back three with Walker? Yeah, absolutely. I could see Pep doing anything, to be honest. What situations an FPL team can leave your team too inflexible? I mean, if you go like super cheap defense, for example, 4.5, like or 4.5 across the board. If you go like multiple 7 million midfielders and no kind of expensive one, that leaves you a bit inflexible. The more the funds are spread around the team, the less flexible you are, because you got to make more moves to release funds, basically. What's a Scoutcast? So I don't know if you heard of Fantasy Football Scout, but they do a podcast every week. It's usually Tuesday, so I'll be on that next week. I'm loving the mic here. I feel like it's a good sound. William for Mkhitaryan, that would free up 1 million. Now, hell no, I'm not going Fabregas and William, no way. Who will perform best, Mkhitaryan or De Bruyne? De Bruyne. I still think Mkhitaryan's got a lot to offer, though. I hope we see the real deal this year. Do I see Firmino as a second or third striker? He could be third striker, but I think you got to cheapen midfield quite a bit. I've actually toyed with playing him as a second striker. Get rid of Kane. Could be interesting. That would free up 4 million. So I could then have Fabregas to De Bruyne and have an extra million somewhere. I could have Alonso then. I could have Alonso, Firmino and De Bruyne instead of Bertrand, Fabregas and Kane. I think that's a lot closer than it sounds. Let me show you what that would look like, because sometimes it's easy just to see it. I know. Get rid of Kane is a no-no, but we can change it back. Chill out, people. So Chelsea, stick Alonso in. Who else did I say? De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne. Yeah, something's going wrong here. Oh yeah. Oh, I actually have 4.5. I feel like I've gone wrong somewhere. Alonso. Okay, fuck it. Done my maths wrong somewhere. Okay, so this is what the team looks like now. What say you? Willian all day with Fabregas. Yeah, I would probably swap that, but right now I'm just going to go back and forth. Yeah, Big Ricey, we're still going. I'm probably going to go maybe for another 18 minutes. That'll bring it up to 2 hours. But there's still like 140 odd people watching, which I think for this stage of the season is pretty decent. That's been fairly consistent over the time, so people are watching. I'm happy to stick around. Firmino is a no-no. Why is Firmino a no-no? Mkhitaryan had 28 assists in 2015-16. Yeah, I know. Like, the potential's there, I think, but I can see why people are skeptical about it. Firmino is inconsistent at best. If Firmino gets on penalties if Robertson starts, and there is a chance that happens. I just think with Firmino, what was I going to say? Although, do I want Salah and Firmino? Probably not. I don't know. I don't think Henderson would be on penalties. Didn't he? Kind of gave them up for Milner, didn't he? Did Milner get them after Henderson got injured? I think he got them before. Matic is only 5 million yet. Let's not go there. Okay, here's what I do. Here's what I do with that team. Hang on, lads. Hang on. Right, let me confirm this. Here we go. We happier now? Matic could get you 6 every week. Yeah, he could. But probably won't. Firmino doesn't score enough goals. He needs goals, not assists, to get the bonus. Yeah, fair point as a forward, yeah. He got 11 goals last year, 11 assists. So yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe he needs to up the goal. Like, lose a few of those assists and get more goals. Maybe he will this year. Or do we think it's still going to be the wide players? Could get Benteke in there instead of Firmino. Is Defoe being overlooked for a striker that had a very good season and an awful side and is likely on penalties? So I did say earlier, I think he has definitely been overlooked. I don't know, but his kind of popularity has decreased. When I say that, I'm not checking ownership. I just mean from like teams we've seen. I think Defoe was in a few teams kind of when FPL first came up, and he's kind of gone down and down. I don't 8 million. I don't want him instead of Mkhitaryan. Don't want him instead of Zaha. I don't know. Take Mkhitaryan, Firmino, J-Rod and De Bruyne and put in Pogba, Salah, Austin and Lacazette. That doesn't sound like it fits. So Mickey and Pogba cancel each other out price-wise. Lacazette is 2 million more than Firmino. Austin is more than J-Rod. And Salah is only 1 million less. So yeah, you're about 1.5 million out there at least. Am I using my wildcard in Game Week 3? Probably not. Seems a bit early. Do I ever use bench players, or are they there for emergency? So I don't ever purposely use them, but yeah, sometimes they come into use. I tend not to pick bench players that I'm going to want to pick. I like having, I call it like bench fodder. So Carroll was always there, like if I needed to get 2 or 3 points, but not that last. Alonso, Trippier and Daniels. That is where it's at. Benteke, cheap and good fixtures. But I got Zaha though. Is Zaha a better option than Benteke? Not sure Alonso is worth it. I tend to also agree with that. I think, gonna eat my words, I know. I mean, this guy did score 2 goals from open play. I think that, no, one was a free kick actually, in the same match. You take a 4-point hit over using the bench player most. Yeah, I would for sure. Would 5-3-2 formation be a good one this year, as most teams are going to be using the wing-backs? No, I don't think so. Yes, the wing-backs are going to do well, but there are still midfielders and forwards that are also going to do well. Don't forget about them. You're thinking of dropping Kane now? I'm thinking of putting Kane back in. I've spent too long looking at Firmino. I don't like it. I think game week 1 more than ever is about not rating cheaper players. Like, you know, we were saying earlier that if the player's cheaper, we'll automatically think they're not as good. I think we do that a lot in game week 1. I do for sure. So that's Salah. Liverpool. Hang on a second. Have I nailed it here? If I get Foster, that lets me keep Alonso. Hang on. This will all change again in a minute. I don't really like Redmond. What do people think of Redmond? I think 6.5, it could be good, but I'm just not sure about him. Also, you're going to love who I'm putting in now. Who is the most nailed in my team apart from Lukaku? Funnily enough, if I stick to 3-4-3, probably J-Rod. Unless Austin suddenly becomes a nailed option, but I don't think he's going to. Okay, we've got a new team now. Made a few more changes, but Alonso stays. Foster comes in. Willian comes in. De Bruyne and Firmino go. And Salah comes in too. Means I get to have Alonso. 7 million though. 6 goals, 5 assists. 15 clean sheets. So that's 26. Hang on, so 26 returns. Sorry, let me leave that up on the screen a sec. So that's 26 returns, right? We're not including bonus there. I'm not going to add that up now. What did Bertrand get last year? 2 goals, 5 assists, 12 clean sheets. So that's 19 returns. So only 7 less. I mean, 7's actually quite a lot, to be fair. But he also didn't play as many minutes, I don't think. No, it's about the same. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, Alonso's much better. But he's 1.5 million more. Chelsea have hard matches. They're not all hard though, right? I mean, Burnley at home's good. Everton at home's okay. Leicester away, yeah. I mean, Arsenal at home and Spurs away, probably not great. Especially to have Willian and Alonso. But no, I don't want to base my team based on just one game week. That's a pretty balanced side, I'd say, though. If balanced even matters. Is there any chance of me rating your team? Probably not now. No, I've only got like 9 minutes left. If I have to rate your team, I'll have to rate everyone's team. And I can't give all of you that much love right now. Been nearly 2 hours going now. If we could hit a few more likes before the stream end, that'd be awesome. We're on 64 now. If we can get close to 100, it'd be appreciated. And check how many subs we're on now. 1,602, awesome. We've broken the 1,600 mark. Next step, 2,000. Only 400 off. Why no City players? I just can't afford them with that team. Not yet, anyway. Wow, Chicharito is owned by 20%, is now 3rd on the striker list. I mean, he's quite a popular player. Like, everyone's remembering the Man United days. I think if you look beyond that, it maybe is not such a good idea. Ali, Jesus, or Kane, Pogba. Probably Ali and Jesus. You think the answer of whether it's worth getting Firmino is at the end of his surname? Why J-Rod? Striker for West Brom doesn't seem like a good idea. I kind of agree, to be honest. But it's a 6 million gamble on very good fixtures, so considering it for sure. No City would worry me. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to probably get punished every now and again by City. It happens. It's Rondon part 2. Oh, come on, J-Rod's not Rondon. Chiquilito, very consistent, especially at Leverkusen. J-Rod might play left wing or second striker or get benched. No, I'm not letting you put me off him. He's in my team. He's staying. Chicharito is highly owned. In other words, we can pick him up for 6.5 million soon. I like that. Macaulay, West Brom defender, 7 goals, but he's injured. And he's old. Will he still be the man? J-Rod is only owned by 3.2%. Yeah, so that's a potential differential right there. Shout out, please. Okay, shout out to Daniel Bell. Thanks for tuning in. I wouldn't ignore highly owned players just because you're worried about them reducing in price. Either you think he's going to score well or he's not. If he's not, then fair enough. Don't get him. He'll fall in price. If you think he's going to do well, don't avoid him just in case he doesn't. How is J-Rod nailed? Has Rondon gone? Now, he's likely to play left of the front 3. Any idea if Jonty is on the punching trail this year? I'd say absolutely not. Daniels, I'd say absolutely almost certain he will have Daniels. Thoughts on Batshuayi? Way too short term, probably even more short term than Willian. It does look like he's going to start and maybe Morata will either not play or, play like left of a front 3 or something like that. But Batshuayi's not going to be in the team for long, you'd think. There's no way they paid all that money. And I know there's so much money in football now that you do have to make a big transfer and then bench him sometimes, but I don't see it with Morata. I think he's worked with Conte before and done well, so yeah, I do have a league. The code is in the description below. Shout out to Killian Gubbins for being in here again, as always. Are people overlooking Ake? No, I don't think so. I think if you want a Bournemouth defender, it's him or Daniels, and I think either is okay. I'm personally preferring Daniels. Change Alonso for Yoshida and get De Bruyne instead of Mkhitaryan. Nah. Well, maybe. I don't know about Mkhitaryan. Where did I finish overall last season? Like 4, 7, 8, 5, something like that. Top 5k anyway. Has Mark revealed his current draft yet? Does he think Lukaku and Kane are essential? I don't know the answer to that second part of the question. I will guarantee he has Lukaku because the ownership will kind of put him off. And I think he's a good pick regardless of ownership. Kane, I'd say, probably will have, to be honest. But we'll see. Probably find out on Tuesday. You hope to see Alonso out of my team by next time, yeah. Alonso might not even make the end of the stream. Zuma is overpriced after his move from Chelsea, yep. If you're going to have Lukaku this year, then you'll need to have Pogba. If one plays well, both play well. Yeah, maybe. I don't think that means you have to have both in your team. I'm not against the idea, but I don't think it means you have to have both. Zuma, no, not Stoke. I'd be worried about Stoke, to be honest. Let's see how they do first. Do price changes take place before game week 1? Nope. From basically game week 2 onwards. So as soon as game week... So what could happen, but it's very unlikely, is once the deadline hits on Friday, they could change on Saturday, but there have to be a lot of transfers Friday night for that. Why not put David Luiz in and take Alonso out? The thing is, I'm not just getting a Chelsea player, I'm getting Alonso. Like, if I don't have Alonso, then I want Azpilicueta, and if I don't have him, then I just don't want one of their defenders. Like, for me, David Luiz at 6 million is not great value. I'd rather have Kolasinac. I'm not just covering the team. It's also about the actual player as well. I think I said Mark Hughes' first manager to be axed on the last screen. The max someone can go up or go down in a week, unless they've changed anything, is 0.3. Any consideration for Sané? Nope. I'm done with Sané. You're waiting to see whether Jeff's question about Tommy Smith of Huddersfield has been answered, because you have the same question as well. To be honest, I don't know what the question was. I can try and find it, but I'll tell you now, I won't know about Tommy Smith of Huddersfield. Maybe someone else will. I can say it out loud and someone else can answer. You're thinking of Tommy Smith, Huddersfield defender. Any thoughts? So yeah, anyone got any thoughts on Tommy Smith? Because I don't really know about him, to be honest. DR1 PPY NOS3 is answered already. What did he say? Gotta find him now. Oh, is that the answer? No, I don't know. As your stream is about to end, people are increasing. Yeah, it goes up and down all night, to be honest. We've been around 150 to 170 most of the night. That's cool. Happy days. I'm hoping, so last year, so basically whatever the highest number I've said this before, whatever the highest number of viewers is you see on the screen, you can usually add about 10 to 15 on the final number. So the highest so far after a stream is actually 269 concurrent viewers. That was during, I think, like game week 28 or just before game week 28, something like that. Or game week 34, 33. I don't know, sometime around then. So I'm really interested to see what happens next Thursday when I stream. So definitely tune in for that one. Just before the deadline, or just before deadline day. But yeah, I'm going to start wrapping up now. We just hit exactly 2 hours. 75 likes, really appreciate that. 168 watching. Thank you very much. Anyone that's new around here, make sure you subscribe. If I didn't answer any questions, I'm sorry. I don't know about Tommy Smith for Huddersfield, but if he's 5 million, that really doesn't sound like good value. You think West Brom won't get many clean sheets? You're probably right. 3 hour stream. I don't think it was a long stream necessarily, no. The thing is, for current viewers, it doesn't really matter how long the stream is, it's just how many were watching at once. So it was just like 269 at once at one point. Now that could have straight away dropped afterwards. You would get more people watching after if you could show the questions you answer on screen. Yeah, so there's two things for that. One, I can show the questions. So I can show the chat. In fact, I'll show you now, right? We're at the end of the stream. I'll show you what it could look like. The problem is, it's quite blurry. That's why I try and... I've got to make this smaller. This is why I try and mention the questions before I answer. So I can... Hang on a sec. This is possible. How do I do it? Okay, I'll just do it from here. Just mess with it live on stream. So I'll put that down to there. Because of the way this pulls out, I either have to have the chat big or the team big, or you don't see me. To be honest, I'm kind of happy with both. So something like that. I don't know. Do people like the chat on stream? Yeah, you can see it anyway when you're obviously watching live, but what Melinda is saying is after the stream you can't see that chat, Just doesn't show up. You're basically relying on what I say. I think I prefer it without. I think a fair few people watch afterwards anyway, to be honest. You love the fact that after every stream I go away and completely change my team. I'm glad I could help. Or not help in this case. It's so hard because I do the same. Like, I'll listen to other people's opinions and I'll change my team. Put your picture over the area between the keeper and Daniels. Oh, okay. This has got to be on top. Okay, I see what you mean. And then make this big. Yeah, no, fair enough. That kind of works. I only show like half of those messages right now. Make chat full width, but only show half. Yeah, to be fair, I could. Yeah, you're right. I could. Yeah, okay, fair enough. So I could do it like this. No, I didn't just accidentally delete the webcam. Hang on. So I could do it like. So just for anyone that hasn't realised, this is basically the end of the stream now. I'm just messing about with this. I'm not going to answer too many more questions. So yeah, I could do the bottom of the chat, I suppose. See, this is why I need your guys' help. I'm just stupid otherwise. So I could do it like this. For fuck's sake. Ah! Like that. I mean, I don't mind putting the chat up if people think it helps. I mean, you can see me, too big maybe even. You can see the team full screen and you can see the chat. I don't need like a fancy graphics, I suppose, on there. And to be fair, none of my graphics are fancy anyway. But like, I don't need it to say my name, whatever. I can make the webcam smaller anyway. The thing is, like, so saying like you don't need the chat, you'd rather have bigger pictures than team, but the team picture's not going to get any bigger anyway. So the chat is not hindering that. So if the chat helps people watch after, then maybe, yeah, it is a good idea. There you go. What about that? Have I perfected it now? Boom. Happy days. Could anything in the chat get my video flagged? No, I don't think so. I mean, anything that's bad I delete anyway, so it'll be on and it'll go. I mean, to be fair, if anything from the video was going, well, we'll see, I suppose. Put your camera small on top of the Lukaku shirt. What? Have me instead of Lukaku. That's better for not watching. Okay, fair enough. If people want the chat up, then that's cool. I'm happy with that. I mean, just remember there's a delay, I suppose, between what I say and what you see in chat, probably. When will I next be streaming? So maybe Sunday. Sunday might be a goer, actually. I might stream Sunday. Tuesday I'll be doing the Scoutcast or Fantasy Football Scout website, YouTube page. Wednesday I will be streaming live, but I will be doing a kind of like series show type thing. It's like a face-off between, basically see who gets the most points, pick a team. There's certain rules to how you have to pick, just to make it a little bit more interesting. And I'll see if I can beat someone from the community, basically. So I want to do that every week. So I'll be recording that live on Wednesday with the guys, or one of the guys who got the assist. And then Thursday will be the big stream. So that'll be like the one before the deadline when everybody is panicking. We've got a few press conferences and we're good to go. Cheers, Jeff. We'll catch you next time. Sound like Kamara then. Cool. So actually, the good thing for me... Hang on. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, the good thing for me is it means I don't have to have multiple windows with stuff as well. It means I can just read the chat on the stream, which is kind of handy, to be honest. Comes up at the same time. So yeah, okay, fair enough. We can go with that. No City. Yes, there's no City. Well, I'm going before I get told I got no more City any more times. I can't cope with it anymore. 83 likes. If anyone hasn't liked the video and you did enjoy the stream, make sure you like it before you leave. Really appreciate that. Get up to 100 tonight. Yeah, I'll definitely make you panic more on Thursday. What time Sunday? I generally aim for 9:30 UK time. I can't do it any earlier generally. Sometimes it'll be later, but most of the time it's 9:30 start. So yeah, hit the like button on the way out. Hit subscribe on the way out. Really appreciate that. I will catch you next week, maybe Sunday. But until then, enjoy your tinkering, and I'll work on maybe getting some Man City players into my team. Cheers for tuning in, all. See you later.